Well, hello. Well, hello, everybody. We're back now. Um, I would like you all to go down and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, because in this vlog and in this vlog, in this vlog and in this in this vlog and in this vlog and in this video, we are going to show you how you can make some of your vegetables last longer, such as your bell excuse me, your bell peppers and your mushrooms. We did also we did also do this yesterday with our colleague. We did also do this yesterday with our cauliflower that we ended up getting the other day, a couple of days ago on Saturday. Very quickly, I'll show you a little bit of that real quick. What we did yesterday with our cauliflower was, the two bunches we had. First we cut them up. Then we boiled two pans of water, 2 pots of water. Once they both came to a boiling point, we put in a little bit at a time, you don't need to boil them real long. For this we boiled them. We boiled it for we boiled it all for 30 seconds, and so after we threw it in our boiling water, we just counted the seconds. We counted to 30 again. We boiled it for 30 seconds, and then once we had counted all the way to 30 seconds, once those 30 seconds were up, we would take a slotted spoon, and then scoop them each out individually. Put them in a bowl or something, a mixing bowl, and then we would transfer them over to the sink, and we would have a strainer already, and then of course you wanted to make sure that you cooled these off as thoroughly as possible. Before putting them in freezer bags. Once they had cooled off a reasonable amount, then like you see right here, we ended up putting them in freezer bags. And believe it or not, for bell peppers, it's same thing. You cut them up, and then you also have to make sure you de-seed them too. In other words, you also have to make sure you cut out all this stuff first. All the seeds and all the seed residue. Then after that you cut each half in half again, or cut it up in shreds. It's really only necessary to after you first cut the bell peppers in half once, and then de-seeded them and removed all the seeds and seed residue. Cut each half in half one more time, and then again, same thing. Put it in boiling water for pretty much no more than 30 seconds. And so as you can see, I've got some bell peppers all cut in half. I got I've got one of our 2 packages that we ended up getting on Saturday of bell peppers all cut in half. Again, we had orange, red, and yellow, and then we also got some green. So we also got one of our green bell peppers. So now, yep, we've already cut those in half. So first thing we need to do, is we need to deseed and get rid of all the seeds and seed residue in each bell pepper have here. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. So that's the first. So that's. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. So I'll go ahead and cut this in. I'll go ahead and cut this half in half one more time, so we can get at the rest of the seeds and seed residue. And I definitely think this is definitely crucial if for people like us, like we said earlier, you do need to take a good bit of a break for at least the next few weeks, even just about the next month. Doing everything possible, to make your vegetable, find whatever way you can to make your vegetables last longer. And what we're getting ready to do is definitely a pretty good example. Don't mind hearing that clicking. Don't mind hearing that clicking noise. That's one of our air fresheners we have in our That's one of the air fresheners we have on our on the top of our cabinet up above. You'll probably hear that a little bit throughout the video. So just ignore that. Just in case you were wondering what that clicking noise was. All right, almost done. Just got one more to do right here. That's our green bell pepper, and then we'll be pretty much ready to start to start the boiling. Then we'll be ready to start the 30-second boiling process. So, all right. So, all right. Just kind of moving everything over a little bit so we can start. So we can. So. So we can, moving everything over so we can start boiling our two pots of water right here. All right. So pretty much you turn both pots on high, and pretty much leave it that way, because once again, you're just boiling your bell peppers for just no more than 30 seconds. And what the boiling process is going to be getting rid of as much of like bacteria and other funguses and all that stuff off the vegetables, so before putting them in freezer bags and then freezing them. So all right, just gonna de-seed this last pepper again. That's our green bell pepper we have here. All right, we got all of our bell peppers all de-seeded and seeds removed. Got all the seeds removed and stuff, and all the seed residue. We just got to wait for our 2 pots to completely come to a boil. Then we can go ahead and start the process. We'll use to, and once again, after we boil each piece of, after we boil each piece of bell pepper that we got right here for 30 seconds, then we'll take each and put in this bowl, all in this mixing bowl right here, and then we will transfer it over to our strainer we got, and we will transfer it right over to. We will transfer it all over to our strainer we got right here. So I've also got my slotted spoon. I've also got my slotted spoon. I've also got my slotted spoon right here. For scooping each piece of bell pepper out after we boiled each piece for 30 seconds. All right, both of our pots, or well, both of our pans are have just about come to a boil. So we're just about ready to throw each piece of our bell peppers in. Okay. The safest way to put each piece in maybe is to take your slotted spoon and put each piece in. Like either one by one or a couple at a time. So both pans have officially completely come to a boil. So let's get started. We're going to count to 30 seconds now. All right, we've counted to 30 seconds, so let's go ahead and take our first bell pepper. We just did all out. That ended up being our green bell pepper. You can probably see right. Careful. Okay. So now that we've done that, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and transfer that all over to our strainer right here we got over here. So let's do that. I'm going to shake it around a little bit so that we can get each of the remaining boiling water out. All right, so now move operations back over to our boiling station right here, and we'll do the bits and pieces of the next bell pepper. So next, I think we'll do our red bell pepper right here. If I have 2 pots of water boiling, maybe I should be using this as well, but I wanted to use the one closer to the camera so you can see what we're doing. All right, gotta count to 30 seconds here. All right, all right. It's been 30 seconds now with our red bell peppers. With our red bell peppers, so let's go ahead and take. Let's go ahead and take let's go ahead and take all 4 of the bits and pieces out. All right, same thing. Same thing. We are now going to dump this in our strainer right here. We got. Again, shake it around to get all the remaining boiling water all out. All right. Now let's go ahead and I think this time we will use both pots. This one we'll do our orange bell pepper in, and then our other one right here we'll do our yellow bell pepper in. Starting to get a little foamy. Sometimes when you blow on it a little bit, that helps, but doesn't make it go away very long, of course. All right. All right. Okay. Put my yellow bell pepper in right here. All right. Let's count to 30. Let's count to 30 seconds now. This time we'll count it out loud for you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, since these were our last 2 bell peppers, I'm going to shut both pans off. So, all right. All right. Now we'll go ahead and transfer again. Usual thing, transfer these right over to our strainer right here. Yep, again, make sure shake it around, get all the remaining boiling water all out. So, all right, just temporarily moving that there so I can dump both pans of water out. All right, kind of try and let these cool for a little bit. And so now that we're done with the bell peppers, we'll show you how it's done with our mushrooms, our portobello our portobello mushrooms. All right, so we got our frying pan or pan searing pan out right, or searing pan right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about like 2 scoops of our Tops brand whipped butter. We'll put it in our pan and let that all melt. We'll do one more scoop of our Tops brand whipped butter right here. And so for this, we'll put our burner on medium. We'll put our burner. We'll put our burner on medium. Yep. We'll put our burner. We'll put our burner on medium heat right here. Alright, since this burner was already just going a little while ago, it was already still warm, so we're already getting our butter melted here, so just going to kind of move it around a little bit here, get the entire pan coated. Let's go ahead and throw our mushrooms our portobello mushrooms in. We don't need to cook these all the way thoroughly. We just want to kind of let them be in here just a little bit. Just want to let them be in here just a little bit. Just a little bit, so that they get completely cooked. So that they get completely coated. Yep, we just want to let them be in here in our pan just long enough so that they get completely coated here. Sorry about that. Not mean to do that as usual. Just moving the camera a little closer for you all. All right, just put one more scoop of butter in, just because some of the butter we already put in, of course, you know, it's starting to sort of dissolve a little bit. So just putting just a little bit more butter in. All right, that's good. And again, we want to make sure our mushrooms are completely cooked. We want to make sure our mushrooms are completely coated. So that's why I just put one. That's why I just put one more additional scoop of butter in. All right, the ones that I think have been here long enough, I'm gonna take out. I'll put them back on the tray here. That's the best resource I got here. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the heat. Go ahead and turn the heat. Going ahead and just went ahead and turn. Just went ahead and just went ahead and turned the heat off. So. Just let the fan suck out some of the steam in the pan here. Alright, go ahead and shut the fan off. Alright. Gonna run some cold water on our bell peppers here, just to kind of speed the cooling process a little bit here. Got to shake it out. Again, got to shake this around one more time to get all the excess water out. All right. Feels like we've cooled them down a reasonable amount. So now we've got some freezer bags right here. We'll go ahead and put each piece in our freezer bags right here. We'll cool this one down just a little bit more. This piece is just still a little warm, so run a little bit more cold water on this piece right here. Again, you want to cool this all as much as possible, as completely as possible. So, after you've run some cold water on this, or cauliflower or broccoli, whatever you're doing, and you're putting each of the bits and pieces in your freezer bag, and then you take one piece out and it still feels a little warm. Make sure you rinse it under a little bit more cold water to cool it down a little bit more. Just going to cool this piece off a little bit more. All right, so what we're doing here is we just put each of the bits and pieces of our orange bell pepper in this freezer bag right here, and then we'll put each of the bits and pieces of our yellow bell pepper in one bag. Same thing with green bell pepper and red bell pepper. This one seems like it's cooled off a reasonable amount, so it doesn't feel like it's warm enough where we really need to rinse any more cold water in it, so we'll just put that straight in the bag. All right. Now I'm going to rinse a little cold water on our mushrooms here, on our portobello mushrooms. And we'll do the same thing with our portobello mushrooms. Put them in. We'll put them in one or a couple of our freezer bag, and one or a couple of our other freezer bags we got here. Again, you probably want to try not to crowd them too much. You probably want to try to you probably want to try not to crowd your mushrooms too much in just one bag, one freezer bag. So I'm just going to take a couple or a few of what I already put in this bag and transfer a little bit into this one right here that we just started. All right, we'll go ahead and seal each bag now. We'll go ahead and throw them in the freezer. Just had to get a couple pictures in there. All right. Now for our final thing. Go ahead and throw them in our freezer right here. I'm starting out by putting at least the first couple of bags on our door right here, since we don't have much room left in our wide open space right here. You know, we did a lot of this yesterday, like I showed you at the beginning of the vlog, and the beginning of the video with all of our cauliflower we had gotten yesterday. We also did this with our other package of bell peppers as well, and the rest of our package of green bell peppers that you had saw that we had shown you on just the other day, just a couple of days ago on Saturday, just the other day and stuff. And so that's what made me think, well, maybe with the rest of our vegetables that we haven't done it with yet, maybe we'll do a vlog and a video on that, you know. All right, now the last thing, we're putting our portobello mushrooms in. Just gonna put everything in our. Just gonna put everything on. Well, maybe not quite everything, but just about everything on our door here again, because we don't have much room left in our wide open area of our wide open area of our wide open area of our freezer. But our last bag of mushrooms I will put right up around here, because we have just enough space for it left. Actually, I'll put it up here. All right. So there you have it. So it's about as far as we'll bring the vlog and the video. It's as far as we'll bring the vlog and the video. All right. Take one other look outside again. It's definitely been a wet and dreary day here in Rochester for sure. You know, it's definitely been a wet and dreary day here in Rochester for sure. All right, so all right, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the vlog. Sorry. Gonna go ahead and close out the vlog and close out the video. Definitely, for sure, be sure to give this vlog and this video a huge thumbs up for sure. Be sure to comment down below, and be sure to go down and hit that subscribe button for sure. I'm sure you all probably at least learned a little something from this vlog and this video. So